Hey gang, what's happening? Welcome to another episode of Kenny's Cards and Collectibles, where I dive into a box or a bin or something that I stored away many years ago from collecting stuff in my 40 plus years of working in the sports media, buying, collecting, some of this stuff given to me. I was emceeing personal appearances by players and things of that nature. So I packed away a bunch of stuff in this box. And I've cut the seal on it to open it up and see what the heck is in here and find out if I want to keep this stuff or I want to sell this stuff. So that's where you come in. Maybe there's something in here that you have to have, that you want to buy. So we'll give you that opportunity. So let's rip open this box and see what we have in here. And it says on this box, my notes, I wrote something on most of these. Tiger, LeBron, Oscar, OSU footballs, and more. So that's what to expect in this box. So let's slide this over without letting it fall off the side of the table and see what we have in here. All right, we're going to start things off with a Dallas Cowboys mini helmet signed by Hall of Fame running back Tony Dorsett. All right, not a bad start. Tony Dorsett autographed mini helmet. All right, let's go to this. There's another mini something. This is a mini football. ESPN Classic mini football signed by the late, great Jim Brown. So we start with two Hall of Fame running backs right out of the gate. Not too shabby, right? All right, let's see what else. Here's another football. Oh, I know what this is. I did a personal appearance with Mike Nugent, I want to say like at a Walmart or a Kmart, after they won the national championship in 2002/2003. Game was in January 2003. And Mike Nugent shares the same birthday, March 2nd, as my son, Cameron. So, and I'm a big fan of kickers, so it was an honor for me. And I had Mike Nugent sign me a kicking tee. Mike Nugent, 356. I'll tell you what that is in a second. And this mini football, Mike Nugent, number 85, 356 points, number 1. He's the all-time leading scorer at the Ohio State University. So a mini football and a kicking tee, both signed by the all-time leading scorer at OSU. All right? Here's the Tiger Woods thing we talked about. Now, the hat isn't in the greatest shape. It's a little stained or just faded, but Nike Tiger Woods hat autographed by Tiger Woods. Got the official Tiger Woods logo and sticker on it. That hat alone was 20 bucks. What's it worth with his signature on it? I'm not sure, but I won this in a silent auction at the Cleveland Sports Awards banquet in the early 2000s when Tiger was dominating golf. So there's that. I remember it now. How about this? It's a Blue Jackets hockey puck. I said, what's the big deal? Well, 2000-2001 season, I believe, is when they started in the NHL, and that's when this is from. So the inaugural season, not signed, but a hockey puck from the inaugural season for the Blue Jackets. All right, what else is in here? Oh, a LeBron James bobblehead from 2003. We'll throw that down there. Not autographed, just from 2003, his rookie year. Good item, gang neighbors. Speaking of LeBron James, how about this? It's not autographed, but it's a mini basketball from the McDonald's All-American High School basketball game, Cleveland Gund Arena 2003. Pretty neat little item. Not a lot of people, I'm sure, have those. You could maybe get that signed by LeBron, so we'll put that there. How about this? Bernie Kosar Beanie Baby Bear, or whatever the heck this thing is. For all you Bernie fans out there. And I want to say this is a Bernie item as well. And I remember this like it was yesterday. 1997 Major League Baseball All-Star Game at Jacobs Field. And I was working at WKNR at the time. We were carrying the then Indians games, I should say. And I was lucky enough to be on the field for all the festivities All-Star Weekend. I sat next to Roger Clemens and watched Tino Martinez win the home run derby. Roger Clemens leaned back. He was with his kids. And he leaned back and he had a piece of bubble gum stuck to the back of his jersey. I said, hey, Roger, you just leaned back into some gum. He said, can you get it off for me? I pulled the bubble gum off of the back of Roger Clemens' jersey during the home run derby in 1997. How about that? I think I have that gum like in a hanky kept away, so maybe it's in one of these other boxes that I'll rip open. But there was a celebrity softball game that weekend or that week for the All-Star game. And this was one of the softballs they used either in the game or, during infield warm-ups and whatnot. It is signed by Jay Moore, the Slam Man, actor, comedian, sports broadcaster, podcaster. The Slam Man used to come on my show all the time when I was at KNR. He played in this game. He signed it. You know who else signed this? Bernie Kosar. I believe Bernie, if memory serves me correct, was the MVP of this All-Star game. So signed by Bernie Kosar, Jay Moore at least, and I want to say there's got to be a Drew Carey autograph on here as well. Another Mr. Cleveland, right? And there are some other autographs on here that I'd have to maybe Google or look up from some of the celebrities that played in that game, but from the 97 celebrity softball game. All right, what else do we have? Okay, speaking of 97, who was the MVP of the All-Star game in 1997? At Jacobs Field, Sandy Alomar. What is this? Game used Sandy Alomar batting glove he gave me. And it's got his name stitched into it. Pretty sweet, right? I remember this as well. Browns-Steelers game back in the day. Hines Ward threw my son one of his gloves that he wore during the game. Wide receiver glove from Hines Ward. Not autographed, but that's from Hines Ward. Take my word for it. Not going to make something like that up, right? All right, what else? Speaking of 97, a lot of this stuff from 97. 97 All-Star festivities in Cleveland for the NBA. We had them both that year. Not autographed, but just a little piece of memorabilia from then. All right, what else do I have here? All right, let me spin this mini football around. It's got, oh, I know what this is. Heisman Trophy winner at The Ohio State University. Number 10 autographed mini football from Troy Smith. OH. Finish that. Okay, since I pulled out a Buckeye mini football autograph, I got a bunch of Buckeye stuff left in here, it looks like. ESPN Classic mini helmet. Signed by Go Bucks, Jim Tressel. Mike Nugent, Craig Krenzel, Michael Jenkins. Holy Buckeye. 4th and 1, 4th and 2 at Purdue. Krenzel to Jenkins. One of the greatest plays that season. Mini helmet signed by all those guys. Another mini helmet. And this one's signed by 2 people involved with the Buckeyes national championship team from 02. ESPN Classic mini helmet. Maurice Clarett, number 13. And head coach Jim Tressel. And there's a Maurice Clarett rookie card in there as well. Pretty sweet. All right. Another mini Ohio State helmet, and this has a ton of autographs on it. I'm going to do my best. Number 2, Mike Doss. Number 37, Dustin Fox. Number 76, center Alex Stepanovich, I believe from Berea, Ohio. Jim Tressel, head coach. Let's see. Number 16, Craig Krenzel. Number 85, Mike Nugent. Number 97, Kenny Peterson. Number 35, Matt Wilhelm. Number 12, Michael Jenkins or Mike Jenkins. And then there's 2 others on here I'd have to look up from the 02 national championship team. Mini Buckeyes helmet. A lot of Ohio State stuff, right? Speaking of Ohio State, let's see. Before they won the championship in 02, the last time they had officially won a national championship was 1968. The super sophomore class led by quarterback Rex Kern. Well, Rex Kern was in attendance when Ohio State won the national championship for the 02 season in January of 03 when they beat Miami in double overtime, right? How about this? A unique Ohio State football signed by quarterbacks Rex Kern and Craig Krenzel. How about that? How many people have that item as far as their collectors or their memorabilia stuff? And speaking of that real quick, I have my media pass from the 02 national championship game signed by Craig Krenzel and Rex Kern, as they were both there and met after the press conferences, and they were kind enough to sign that for me. All right? Oh, before we get to our last Ohio State item, it looks like, let's do this basketball item. And it comes with the certificate, or not certificate, what is that? It's got the sticker on it. I sent it in to get it authenticated. Boom. Oscar Robertson, the Big O, autographed mini basketball. We'll get to my last football in a second. And signed by the Big O. And this was from, I think, the National Card Collectors Convention years ago at the IX Center when the Big O was there. I did an interview with him, a one-on-one, and he was kind enough to sign this, but you still got to get it authenticated, which I did, and boom, there's the Oscar Robertson mini basketball and our last football in here. And again, this is from the 02 National Championship season. Go Bucks, Jim Tressel, Mike Nugent, Craig Krenzel, Michael Jenkins, and I believe this football is from NICOsports.com, N-I-K-C-O. They do a great job of putting out commemorative stuff for teams that win championships. Check them out. I've dealt with them for many, many years. Bob Eibach has been on my show many, many times. And this was one of the things that they put out. I got one of these and had it signed by Tressel, Jenkins, Krenzel, and Mike Nugent. Pretty sweet, right? So that's not a bad box. Huh? How about that? I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I think I'm going to be selling some of this stuff. So if you're interested, follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you'll be able to find out how, if you want to, you can purchase some of this stuff if I'm not going to keep it.